What is up, New Beginnings Church? Happy Thursday morning to you. Welcome to this devotional series, a week with my friend Shane Willard. And all week long, we've been going through the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Yeah. I'm not going to mess it up. I told you one time I messed it up at church. But the next part is, give us this day our daily bread. What is the insight behind that? There's obviously connections in my mind, or the way I'd always been taught, to manna, the Old Testament. Give us this daily bread.
Yeah.
Give me some more meaning. What am I not knowing?
Well, obviously that's the remez or the hint or illusion going on. And one insight that I never saw until I really studied it was that when manna came from heaven, words are one thing, pictures are another. As a kid, probably because it was on the flannel graph or something, I pictured manna as like biscuits.
Yeah, like weird bread.
Yes, like strange, like in Australia they'd call it damper. Here we would just call it biscuits, but like thicker or something.
Yeah.
So I pictured this like bread pellets from the sky, like rolls from heaven. But if you go back and read Numbers, it says when the manna fell, it was hard like coriander seed. And they took mortar and pestle and they ground it into flour and then used it to bake with. So one lesson from it is that God doesn't tend to provide finished products. He gives you the raw material for you to hallow the name with, to use to provide for your life. And so there's that. And then, but there's this interesting thing I just learned that, and I gotta be fair. No one asked me to help them translate it, but I can read Greek, and I just did a simple reading of the Greek, the Lord's Prayer, and it says, "Give us today our daily bread." The word "daily" is not there. It's not even like mistranslated.
It doesn't exist. We added that to make it make sense to us,
or just somewhere somebody translated it that way and then it just stuck. The word is epiousios, which is in every way, like in every Greek possibility, tomorrow.
So how would that, let's say you introduce the idea of tomorrow. Yeah. How would we re-say that
so
in English?
You say, give us today tomorrow's bread.
So not give us today our daily bread.
Right.
Give us today tomorrow's bread. Why would Jesus want us to pray about that?
So the idea is give us today a supply that removes my fear of lack of supply tomorrow. I mean, I think it just goes back to how we use our breath. I mean, imagine spending all day, every day, just trying to survive for yourself. How could you ever use your energy to bless anybody else? I think Jesus is pointing to something profound, like if we see God as the ultimate supplier, we can ask for a supply today. Like metaphorically, the word epiousios can mean transcendent. So you can go, give us today transcendent bread. Or the literal translation, I think, works better. Give us today tomorrow's bread. So give me today a supply that removes my fear of lack of supply tomorrow. This frees me to use my energies to the fullest possibilities to make other people's lives better. It's don't have a poverty mentality. Don't limit God's ability to provide for you, but you wouldn't hoard either. It's a supply that is meant to remove fear and bless others. And if a supply of anything does that, removes your fear of lack and gives you enough to bless others, that's a pretty good day.
So I'm praying, God, in essence, give me the supply that I need to where, like, I'm not worried about the future. I'm worried about right here, right now, hallowing your name by bringing heaven to earth. And I'm not worried, which again is a big, huge component of the rest of the Sermon on the Mount. It's like, don't stop living your life in worry.
Right.
Well, if you had your daily bread or tomorrow's bread today, you would say, well, then I can feed them today because I know God's got me tomorrow, and I can bless them and give them. And
like if you're broke, like really, really poor, like Jesus stay poor, and I give you a piece of bread or a loaf of bread, well, as soon as you eat that,
it's gone.
You're worried about where tomorrow's comes from. And so Jesus says, actually, if we can believe God to give us today tomorrow's bread, then we could use the extra day to bless others. And I think we should be doing that more.
And if we did that, that act alone would be bringing heaven to earth.
Correct.
For everyone.
Correct.
around us. Church, let us be a generous people, knowing that our God has our today, our tomorrow, our future in his hands.
Yes.
And let's be bold in bringing heaven to earth. I love it. Thank you so much. Shane is going to be back with us tomorrow. I love it, and I will see you then. God bless.